Hey, hey, hey. How's it going, everybody? How we all doing? Hope you are doing well. Alright. So like I've been talking about recently, I figured I'd take a little bit of time tonight just to take a look back at what all we've done just in 2017 alone. Because it was a big year for my stream. Definitely seemed like I did more than I did previous year. All right. Oh. Let's put a little, maybe not that big of an outline. Yeah? Okay. So I know I've gone through a little bit of this on stream already, and if I take the kind of time that I want to, I'll be here until I've got to go to work tomorrow, so. I guess we can cover mostly like the one-offs, because the regular streams that you're gonna see from me are like the Super Metroid Race Night on Fridays, and every once in a while my brother and I do two-player stuff. And I've got just an absolute list of local co-op games that my brother and I play through on a regular basis. So, chief amongst them, I would say, are Battle Block Theater, Duck Game, Thief Town, and now Ultimate Chicken Horse. There are obviously a whole bunch of others, but those are the real mainstays. Oh yeah, and Death Road to Canada was a new one, so that gets introduced later on. But we can at least take a look at the games that I played, the games that I beat on stream. Right here we have Day of the Tentacle Remastered. It was the first game that I beat this year. Every year I set myself a goal for a New Year's resolution to beat at least 10 video games. And yeah, this year I started thinking maybe I should start making that 20. But 10 is a good place to start. At least in my mind. We'll skip around a little bit in this. Again, they didn't really do too much to Day of the Tentacle. They gave it a little bit different art style, and a couple of the sound effects have been changed. Camera movement's been smoothed out a little bit and all that, you know. The Day of the Tentacle Remastered. It's definitely a fun game, so's the original. Not really any gameplay difference between them. I think the interface might be a little different, but that's like it. Moving on. Oh yeah. The second game that I took down this year, Manos: The Hands of Fate. Of course, taken from the awful, infamous movie from Mystery Science Theater of the same name. The game is definitely a lot better of the same name. The game is definitely a lot better than the movie. The run and gun feels really good. I think I even played through it a second time. Well, maybe I didn't play through it a second time. Whoops. That's not what I wanted to click. Get off me. Oh, not that. Yeah. You can, after you beat the game as the normal character, you can play through as Torgo, who was the... Oh, see, they switched places. Torgo takes care of the place while the Master is away. But in New Game Plus, they can switch. And you just shoot him a whole bunch. He just kind of walks at you. All right. Then we definitely got to talk about Starbound. This was a big part of the early part of this year for me. On one hand, it's a little bit of a shame that I went through it as quote unquote thoroughly as I did. It pretty much felt like I did everything there was to do except find different kinds of rare loot. And in a game that's this size, you could literally be doing that forever. Again, great game. A lot of fun. That's the one thing. I'd like to believe that I don't always play bad games, and if I do, it's with a knowledge, like a kind of tongue-in-cheek knowledge that it is a bad game. We're just harvesting some stuff. We go on adventures, or nope, we just caved the whole time. I ran into some spikes and died. Oh, here we go. Birdface Johnson out in the elements here. Moonwalking and smacking things with his half lightsaber, half katana thing. Telling these monsters to get off me. Get me in this crazy looking house. A good cross section of what goes on in this game. A lot of caving, a lot of mining, and a bunch of walking around on planets, trying to see what you can see. That triple jump. It's pretty good. You get a shot of like, oh, the storage planet. Oh my goodness, storage planet. Just find a desert planet devoid of all life and just stack up a bunch of boxes. Oh, good. Here we go. Oh, the ship. It's so small. This is before I expanded it. But I still had the he increases your fuel capacity. So you can go further and farther. Anyways, we're just making stuff there. Oh, and of course, gotta remember, special Pokemon randomizer challenge. Just trying to navigate the world map is a nightmare. Oh, this is a great spot. As you can see, trying to run from battles. Now I've gotta hope that I can start syncing people back up. But oh no, I'm in a battle in the bottom middle. Just get everyone into a battle. I only managed to get one to finish. But that's kind of the nature of the beast. At least if you've got me doing something stupid like this. Anyways. Yeah, we took care of the side quests and the end game of Chrono Trigger Devolution. What was this one? Anything special? Nope, just the return. Oh man, I remember this. Dude came in talking about the movie Pixels. It's a little weird. But yeah, the triumphant return was made after what felt like a far too long hiatus. Oh, and if you can tell down here the YouTube and Twitch and Twitter logos down there, the way that they're twisting up like that. I'm using XSplit because OBS can't do that. That's an XSplit feature. So, yeah, I was still using XSplit for this. For just about everything except PC games, I think. Yeah, just doing the old Kefka at Narsh. Oh man, Ponk was still... he was still using that old account. Oh my goodness. he hadn't migrated over yet. Oh, that's a thing. What else do we have here? A whole lot of Zelda randomizer. My goodness. I remember I did like one of those just about every day. So I had Searching the Stars. And then I had Snooping Around the Stars. They were two different playthroughs. And this one, oh, this one was Nitric. Nitric the Nova Kid. He was the one that was snooping around the stars. Look at him go, dude, just swimming around. He's still swimming around, my goodness. Yeah, we found it. City of Fish People. Seems like we're always finding cities of fish people in Starbound. Yeah, oh, of course. Some of the Super Metroid races when poor Racebot couldn't handle it. Ah, yes. Playthrough of Kirby 64. This is one of those games that I get a lot of enjoyment out of. I know my friends Ponk and Katoon have their opinions about this game, but I very much enjoy this game. On one hand, I do kind of wish we would have gotten a Kirby game that was more in the style of like Mario 64, where it had kind of an open world or even a hub with big open world levels. That would have been nice, but I think there were a lot of people that were doing that at the time. The decision to keep him as a side-scroller until Kirby's Air Ride. Well, no, I mean, Kirby's Dream Course predated that, but... Oh, any percent. Oh, it's this gem. Yeah, I don't know how to get this one. I've seen the solution, and I don't know how to do it. Good stuff, though. The PS2 testing stream. Playing a little bit of Giant Citizen Kabuto. Legaia 2 Dual Saga. Oh, RPG. Cars? These are cars. Oh, this is, a little car. Yeah, Gadget Racers. This game controlled very strangely because of how small the car is and how close the wheels are to each other. Very strange little game. Yeah, you can see it. Any amount of overcorrecting is just awful. Flipnick Ultimate Pinball. This is a very pretty game. Might think about returning to this at some point. Even if it's just like something to play between Super Metroid races on Fridays. Play some pinball. Oh, baby, that's right. Chess Master. Playing me some chess right here. Yeah, buddy. Strange. Let's get some stuff opened up here. Thank you. Yeah, Mega Man 2.5D. Oh, here he goes, dude. This game was a lot of fun. I would like to see just more, you know? Just more of the, more of this. You know, with some of the different levels and all that. Yeah, I can't really complain about the job the guys did on this. Pretty cool stuff. Now then. Oh, haven't gotten to it yet. Still haven't gotten to it. There we go. So this game, this is called The Deer. It is technically a game. See, look, there's technically gameplay right here. Yeah. But this is the kind of thing you'd find on like an interactive touchscreen display at a museum. Yeah, just a cute little thing. And only like 7.5 minutes of gameplay here. Just kind of walks back and forth and the game tells you about history. Oh, but you can do the dance! Look at him go! Oh! He's a scuba diver now. Oh boy, here we go. Random Steam games. It's something I should probably bring back. It's random Steam game night. Oh, hell yeah. Down well. Dude, what a game. What a concept. Like, the people that made this game are madmen, and I love them for it. Oh, this game. This was, Won't You Be My Laser? Won't You Be My Laser? Remember, this was a pretty stressful level. Yo! Crap. What was this game's name? It knows the name of itself. Either way, this was a really cool game. It's more of a puzzle game. So you've got to figure out a way through each level, because your guy does not stop moving once he starts. Oh, boss fights. You get to like throw axes at him, and oh, there's some blood. The double KO, and it doesn't count. Hey, I'm still on this level. Oh, that blood spray. Isn't it like Proto Raider or something like that? Oh, and this is Gray Cubes. Gray Cubes is a, I mean, it's Breakout, basically. But the blocks have a certain amount of like gravity and physics to them. So instead of just staying fixed in place, they kind of drift around and do stuff. Yo, I know this music. There's a lot of two-player stuff. Ah, yes. And every once in a while, I will get better at Super Metroid. That's always fun. Oh, we did a little bit of Little Big Planet. Mostly just trying to find old creator levels that I remember from years ago. Dude, look at him go. It's Batman! Holy crap, dude. All them keys. Oh, baby. Batmobile. See ya. Oh, God. Level complete. Do a dance. Neat. So I know I showed off the loose spelling accepted the other night. Oh, that's right. That's something that happened this year. I learned how to speedrun Final Fantasy Mystic Quest. One of my favorite games from childhood. Did we do anything before Jeopardy? Oh yeah. A little bit of Excite Bike 64. I'm not gonna fix that cropping. Oh yeah, Perfect Dark. Gonna play a little bit of that. It's basically what we usually do. Just my brother and I on a team against a giant team of bots. Or in this case, we're like against each other, and then there's an army of bots that's against both of us. It'd also work out like that. Oh, a little bit of smash. A little bit of Pokemon Stadium. A little bit more Pokemon Stadium. She's sleeping. Yes! The duel of the century. Oh, good stuff. It has been far too long. I should get back into this at some point. Just 'cause. Yeah, that's right. Playthrough of Terraria that I did with Ponk, of course, was this year. That was a big beefy endeavor. Then we had ley lines, drop alive. That's not the run of Neurovoider that I think it is. We'll see. Ley lines. This is a free-to-play game on Steam. You'll see very quickly what this game is all about. This game is about platforming puzzles and using your bow and like mystically somehow powerful arrows that have like special properties, and some of them can like control gravity, and some of them can control platforms and all that kind of stuff. Play as that person. Actually got a YouTube comment from the composer for the music of this game. And she was telling me that she shared my sentiments about the way like the ending song kind of faded in and out at strange times. This guy is just sitting here with like this big heartfelt monologue. I'm just flinging arrows at him because I'm a dope. We can get through some of the credits here. Music would be either in art or under art, I would think. Do. Yeah, Musical composition. Annette, Bosniks? Annette Singh. Got that YouTube comment from her, so hello, and thanks again. Yo, what's up, Real Work? Dude, just taking a stroll down memory lane. What do we have here? Oh yes, Drop Alive. Another free-to-play game on Steam. This hand-drawn art style. Thought this is a very cute game. I enjoyed it. This was definitely the year for me to pick up, play, and beat Steam games. Definitely did more of that than anything else this year. Alright. Oh yes. Real speedruns of a fake category. So... Yo, it's you! This was Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. Get to the strip in... Or, you know, just get to the strip. I don't remember. Did I say Grand Theft Auto Las Venturas? If I did, I meant San Andreas. But anyways, get to the strip in Las Venturas. Kill 10 Elvis impersonators, get back to the hood, and into the house without dying. And he's off. So I already had stuff in here. FCR 900. Just hauling ass. Trying to get to Las Venturas. It's a good idea. Oh shit, stop that. Oh, did I get hit by the train at some point? That'd be great. So here we are. We've made it to the strip. Running around trying to get these guys. I can't target him. Just keep shooting cops. I can't. There, finally got him. There's another one. This is so silly. But I mean, I used to just do this, you know, for hours on end, because like way back, a couple years ago, it was a couple years before I started streaming. Basically the only two video games I had were Grand Theft Auto San Andreas and whatever year of Madden NFL that I had. I figured those are the only two real games you need. I have since revised that theory to a ridiculous level. I now own far too many video games. Helicopters, there's police trying to rip me out of my vehicle. Someone left their motorcycle in their driveway. I think the cops may have hit that one guy. Jesus. What did I have next? Oh, yes. Sinless. That's like your cell phone in the game. And this is like the mobile game that's in the game. What the show me what... There we go. It's like, let me see what the game actually looks like. Oh, I game over. And then there's a lot of going around, looking at stuff, talking to people, looking at stuff, talking to more people. But it's not completely obvious what you have to do in order to progress the story. And I did get into it, and I was enjoying the story, but the bad thing is, like, right here, basically, is where the game ends. They, like, tell you a little bit of what's going on in the plot, and then join us for part 2, if we ever make it. And I don't know if they ever made it, so. Ah, yes. Secret of Mana, Ancient Cave. This was a good hack. I remember, like, the hardest part of trying to make a layout for Secret of Mana, Ancient Cave was I didn't really have any images or themes in my head that really screamed out Secret of Mana. I found some stuff eventually, but I figured what I have here works as good as anything. It's actually the same image that I use. Like the black background here is what I use for my borders. Like the pink and a purple borders that you see here. Now I have like an orange version of this background picture. Okay, yep, the logos in the corner are still flipping, so that's how you can tell I'm still using XSplit. But yeah, the Secret of Mana, Ancient Cave hack, being able to start playing that with my brother, my usual 2-player partner, it was a lot of fun. I think it's, again, something we need to get back to, but it's something that I need to get figured out as to why my computer is just convinced that that program is a virus. Oh, Cube Runner. This game made my head hurt. I beat it, though. Oh my god, Hero E. This is another free-to-play game on Steam. And I didn't play it for very long. Oh, Mausoleum of the Medusa. This one's fun. This also might be free. Might be. It's a very cool concept. Where it's just, like, the one character, very dimly lit. And Medusa shows up and is coming to get you. This... Oh my god, the speed. This is Comet the Astrodian. This is a game and its sequel. I have both of them. Kinda want to play through these on stream. They seem like a lot of fun. It seems like you can go really fast and get yourself in some trouble. Very clean, simple, like really basic art style. But that kind of art style, for whatever reason, makes me think of like Amiga games. Or like real early 90s PC games. Oh my god, he's so fast. I want to rewatch this. It says it was my best Fantoon fight ever. I think it was my best Fantoon fight to that point. We shall see. Yeah, I don't know about best ever. So I think I've gotten the fast. We got him. Get in there. Yeah, that was a pretty solid fight. I won't argue too hard. Oh, the lightning dinosaurs. Dude, anytime I play through Panic, it's something good. Oh, I did that, that's right. Also did that. Alright, what do we got here? Late night gaming, you say? Oh, baby. This was my birthday stream. That's why the dog is up there doing stuff. Hello? Where'd it go? No. I don't want to play that. I want to play this. Dude, Penguin Adventure. Man, this might be my favorite MSX game. I don't know. I think I technically have to say that Maze of Gallius is my favorite MSX game, because it's the only one I've actually beaten. Then again, I didn't actually beat the MSX version, just beat the remake version. That's free to play and out there on the internet. There we go. I apparently have forgotten what things in my OBS sources are named. And we played a lot of Super Metroid. A lot of Super Metroid. think I might like that game. Now, we got some Sam and Max Hit the Road. That was something I did this year, was I played the 3 foreign language versions of Sam and Max Hit the Road. The German, French, and Italian versions. When I tried the Spanish version, unfortunately, it was just in English. No idea what was going on there. But yeah, I don't know how to speak French or German or Italian. But me being a dumb American, it's kind of fun to play through a very familiar game in a language that I have no idea heads or tails of. Especially Sam and Max Hit the Road. That quickly became one of my favorite all-time point-and-click adventure games. I didn't even grow up with that game. I found that game like 7 years ago. I just really like it. Oh, baby. Doug and Lily. This is a game. A game that lets you moonwalk. And I apparently did some color key with. Here we go. Oh man, Panic. Dude, Panic would be the game that I would break out if I ever got that big raid from some random live streamer. Oh man. It's basically just like, hey chat, tell me which button to push. And then you push it. And then stuff happens. And then you just lather, rinse, repeat. Even with just like 2 or 3 people in chat. Like, I imagine this game would be great if you were just hanging out with a bunch of friends, a bunch of gaming friends, and you're all drunk or just being dumb in general. You just sit around yelling at each other to push buttons, and oh god. It's also a very strange game. Ah yes. And since we beat Chrono Trigger Devolution, that means 2000 network error. Well, since we beat Chrono Trigger Devolution, that means we could do the 8 Magic Tab runs that I guess I innovated. Last time I wished on a cat, I almost died. That's gotta be a quote from someone. Huh. Well, that one doesn't want to play. Long story short, the 8 Magic Tab run collects the first 8 Magic Tabs that you have access to, given the natural progression of the game. And it ends when you get the 8th Magic Tab when you're in the Kingdom of Zeal. So, in the lore of that run, you could say that Chrono just decides to become a citizen of Zeal and listen to that awesome music all the time. So this was Aria of Sorrow randomizer with seed 666. I don't really remember anything specific about it. I remember more specifically runs that I've done more recently because it was like the very first time I've ever had the positron rifle was in a randomizer. Oh boy, I jumped right into that, didn't I? Oh, swingy guy action time. Bionic Commando Reloaded. This was interesting. I mean, obviously, since it's taken from the original NES one, I'm gonna have comparisons. I know the NES one is regarded much more highly than this one. I had fun. Not gonna say I didn't. But it's one of those games that it's kind of fun just to move around. A little wrecking ball decal there. But just swinging around, jumping from platform to platform. Making some of these kind of tricky looking jumps. The swag of Bionic Commando. I don't possess any of it, but man, the game sure looks good when you're able to get some of those slick looking jumps. That was a complete playthrough. I think at this point during the year we had already beaten our 10 games. We're just continuing on. Going back to that who's that Chrono Trigger Devolution? I'm looking right past it. I know I am. The big thing that says Chrono Trigger. Nah, it can't be that. Still giving me network error? Well, whatever. Never trust a dog who wouldn't download a pizza. Oh yeah, had some Lego Lord of the Rings. As of time of recording this, my brother and I have only done the Fellowship of the Ring content, and I think in Lego Batman we've only done the first chapter as well. So, one of these days we're gonna do just nothing but Lego games, and it will be glorious. Then there was the Shadowrun Returns playthrough. I think what happened with this was there was a mod that would give your main character infinite health, but you had to delete like some of the game files. And I think I hadn't, like, deleted it, you know, uninstalled it, and then reinstalled it yet. So, yeah, in part 3 of 3, I end up drinking a whole lot of bullets and not dying. Oh, Mario Retardi. Choosing my fate. That's a bad decision. Stop in for some of these highlights. Oh yeah, Portal 2, the single player playthrough. Portal 2 got handled this year. Let's take a look at a little bit of that. Oh, 3D.Game Heroes. Ah, here we go. So this was farming gold studs, or whatever they're called in this hack. They're called MP emblems. But I was looking for these little guys. These little red guys with the big old eyeball and the red, or the yellow wings. And they are on the Black Omen, but they're a ways into the Black Omen. So I decided to continue from the 8 Magic Tab New Game Plus run. Let's go farm a little bit. My chat has finally evolved to basically to its current state, where I've got the slot machine going on behind it to hopefully be a subtle hint for people that, hey, I've got slot commands in my chat. Oh, it's a duck game highlight. You're trying to get me out of bounds. I'm the white duck. My brother is the black duck. And this is before we had figured out how to reliably do this. Oh, God! One more time. Puts me out. The game throws me back in bounds so hard that it puts me out of bounds. Alright. Here we go. This is where it begins. So I grab that jetpack, I grab that tombstone, and I just go up. And I thread the needle, and it lands right on his head. Amazing. Ah, Portal 2. What a pretty looking game. And it was not easy. But the thing with Portal and Portal 2, the thing with both those games, is you're never quite sure that you're doing things the way you're supposed to be doing things. Know what I'm saying? You're never quite sure that you're doing things the right way. Or even if there is a right way. Sometimes there's very definitely a right way and a wrong way, and I appreciate that because I can recognize it. What else do we have here? Dungeons, the Eye of Draconis. What an amazing adventure that was. Ah, yes. June has rolled around. It's time to begin the Pokemon Black playthrough. Take a look at the videos we've got lined up. Ah. This game is not a lot of fun by itself, or by yourself, just as a one-player experience. I don't believe this game is very much fun. But two-player, it's definitely more fun. A lot more fun. And the humor in this game. I mean, it obviously wears it right on its sleeve. It was one of those games that I didn't really think we were actually gonna beat it in one sitting, but we were just having enough fun that we just kept going. Next thing you know, the end credits are rolling. It was less than an hour, so... I think this was from a different two-player stream. Well, you saw the title screen there for a second anyways. Shooten. Yeah, buddy. It's a shmup. It has some rather unique mechanics to it. A little horizontal slash that you see every once in a while is deflecting the enemy shots right back at said enemies, doing the damage. Getting some money. Oh, the big bad. Look at this guy go. Oh my god. So scary. But here we go. Pokemon adventure of our lives. We were running around. Doing stuff. Beating up Pokemon. Catching them every once in a while. You know the drill. Pokemon Black was a lot of fun, though. Definitely gotta say, I had a good amount of fun with Pokemon Black. It's just a shame I don't have a DS capture device. Or, you know, a working ROM. You know, a non-anti-piracy ROM for Pokemon Black 2. So I'd love to go through it again. It definitely felt different not seeing any real familiar Pokemon. But since I've played some of the more recent Pokemon games, I recognized a bunch of the ones that were in here, but there were still some new ones for me. And what an adventure that was. Again, I think I only had 2 grinding sessions. Oh, here we go. Black Lodge 2600 speedrun attempts. This is a video game. If you're, not on mobile, I believe you can just scroll down and see what my final time for the speedrun ended up being. But basically, because I can't find anyone else that has done speedruns of Black Lodge 2600, I have the world record WR down there in air quotes. So I technically have a world record until I find out otherwise, because it's not on speedrun.com. But much like Panic, I don't feel like being a one-person community for a game. And I don't really want to beg and plead with a whole bunch of people to play my game. Especially when this game is just randomness. It's a game of going from the bottom left corner of the room to the top right corner of the room, a little doorway that you can't see. And you just keep going, and shit like this happens. You just keep going. But then, I broke the game. I was doing stuff. This is a video I sent to the developer, Jack Locke. And I had a little dialogue with him on Facebook. So I found a couple things. Before this plays out, I actually found a glitch where you could get stuck in... You could get stuck in one of the walls. So I told him about that. And, you know, he got back to me and he's like, okay, you know, that was a problem I've seen before, but we'll get that patched. So they did, and I was playing on the latest version that he had put up. And this is a very confusing setup here. First of all, if you're unfamiliar with the Black Lodge or any of the mythos surrounding it, the Black Lodge is from the television show Twin Peaks. And these are all characters from Twin Peaks. The Black Lodge is supposedly like the place of concentrated evil, or dark, the dark dimension or something. But it is symbolic for the black and white chevron floor and the red curtains. So, I don't even really understand a whole lot of what's going on in Twin Peaks, because I haven't watched that much of it. I've watched mostly just the last episode of the initial run. Yeah, not the remake. That's, I think, on now. But I watched the final episode because I wanted to see the Black Lodge content as it existed in the show, and I figured the final episode would be the one that would deal most with the Black Lodge, and you know, I guess I was kind of correct about that. So as it ties into this fight for your life kind of potential game over screen. So you're playing as Agent Dale Cooper, who was Kyle MacLachlan in the show, and you're being chased by your doppelganger, who is just an evil, possessed version of you that's chasing you down from room to room. It's getting faster and faster and faster. And when he catches you, this screen shows up. Your character is here in the foreground. You've got your doppelganger here and some other spooky guy over here. They walk towards each other, attempting to merge in the middle of the screen. The way that you prevent that is by throwing these little yellow projectiles and hitting these owls that are flying back and forth on the top of the screen. You have to hit them out of the sky so that they drop and land on the characters walking towards each other. If you think this sounds obtuse, it is, and that's the nature of the show as well. But what happens when they merge is basically a game over. You see the white horse of death from the show. It's just this massive white horse that shows up. The screen cuts to black. It says game over. And that's it. And you just restart at the beginning. But watch what happens. So, oh no, I couldn't keep him from merging. There's the... Oh, but wait. The horse. The horse has followed me. The horse followed me out of the Fight for Your Life screen into a room in the lodge. I sent the developer a video of this, and I don't think he's gotten back to me. Like, I sent him this, and he had not seen this before. So I felt like I had accomplished something. And the text that I have over here is from the show. That was one of the signature things about the Black Lodge, is that the people in the game, or the people in the actual Black Lodge, could not speak normally. David Lynch, the director, made them learn how to speak backwards so that he would take that sound and play it in reverse so it sounds like they're talking forwards, but really, really screwed up. Oh man, some Fallout 4 post-game. Yeah, this was the year for Fallout 4 for me. Got all the bobbleheads. During this time, when I was playing Pokemon Black and doing the Fallout stuff and the Black Lodge stuff, this was when my brother and his wife were on vacation down in Mexico. And then they came back, and the first stream of him being back was the revenge of Rad Evad. May or may not have noticed the logos down in the bottom right-hand corner. First of all, they're in the bottom right-hand corner, not the left. They're not spinning anymore, they're fading, which means I'm using OBS. But I've had the little Vault Boy The little Vault Boy guy giving the thumbs up every once in a while on that slideshow. Oh, it's so dark. I can't tell which character I am just by looking. Oh, I guess I'm Punch. Yep, I'm Punch. And I remember Preston would just not stop walking around. And I wanted to talk to him. He just kept walking. Oh, baby. Everybody remembers Mega Maker. There are people still playing Mega Maker on a regular basis. Oh, and we're making it. We're making robots in the Wild West. I really thought it was clever making cactus out of the snake segments. But this was real early on in Mega Maker. Real early on. The game has evolved a lot since this point. But the problem I have with games like Mario Maker, Mega Maker, there's a lot of people that want to do that high precision platforming and a Pit of Spikes rage quit style of map. And that's not what I want to make or play at all. The kind of levels that I want to make and the kind of levels that I want to play are basically just regular Mega Man levels. You know? I don't want to have to do a whole bunch of mid-air jumps and silly slide kicks across pits of death. I want run and gun. And I want to be able to drop that Met train from the sky. But Legend of Moogle. This is when I started to just say, you know what? Let's just go with VT. And I think what I really should do is make a whole bunch of the customized ROMs and just get everything placed, but then let a lot of time pass so that I forget what I've done and where I've put stuff. Just for a long time. Well, see, that was the thing. I'm taking infrequent breaks to read chat, if you haven't noticed. But the thing about the runs of Black Lodge 2600 that I've done was those were on the latest version at the time. I don't know if it's still the latest version. I haven't been to his Facebook page in a while. Oh, here we go. right? Think we can go from this point. Oh man, so this... I made my brother, while he was over one day, I made him play Soda Drinker Pro. I would go on to play it, and play all of it, at a later date. I think it was maybe like a week or two later, that I decided to play through Soda Drinker Pro myself. This game, dude. It is not a bad game. But only because it has Vivian Clark in it. Vivian Clark is just a whole bunch of what? Do we have any of that at the tail end here? Yes, we do. Yeah, like what? And then you're back. The old bait and switch. The Atomic Fist saga. This was the first time that I had beaten a loop in Neurovoider. And I was the one on the left here. And I had that perk, which means that all of the weapons that you pick up are going to be melee weapons. So it increases the odds that I'm going to get a boom hammer, which is the weapon I prefer in multiplayer, because it has a big swing arc and it explodes. And I could just zip into a big cloud of enemies, swing it like 3 or 4 times, and take out most of them. Yeah, I just picked one up there. But we actually managed to get all the way through to the end of the loop. But then I got a little bit cocky right at the end, and I died. And that was really the thing that screwed us. Like, not to take anything away from my brother in this game, but you know, I'm the one with the boom hammer. Yeah, there we go. That shows you what that weapon is capable of. Moving right along here. We dipped back into Kerbal Space Program a little bit earlier this year. Decided to see what I could do and how I could do it. This is the first time I did stuff with Kerbal on stream. I was able to get to the moon. The moon, whatever. I was able to get there, but I crashed. Like, I came in too fast and I broke my landing legs. So the goal of this was to be on the moon. And we did. We did be on the moon. Now we got here. It was a little bit worrying about, you know, how are we gonna get back into the ship since it's really, really tall. But we managed to do it. Most importantly... Oh, God damn it. We brought our boys home, nice and safe. So, mission completed. Even though it doesn't look like it right now. Never mind the spinning. Oh. suplex time. Final Fantasy VI. Everybody is Sabin. Everybody gets suplexed. Yep, you just get suplex, blitz, fight, item. Everybody's Sabin. It's hilarious. That means, of course, you get to fight the Phantom Train with only suplexes. Oh, and of course, an old favorite, Tyrion 2000. And, like, my screen capture for my chat, like, screwed up over here. So I was capturing, like, the config window and the emulator window as well. This is a little strange. I didn't know that it happened, obviously, or I would have fixed it. But yeah, this was chapters 1, 2, 3, 4, but not 5. Probably had to go to work the next day or something. What a nerd. But definitely, since you can play Tyrion 2K with just the mouse, and that's one of the reasons why it ranks right up there. That's probably my favorite shoot 'em up. And it was the first one that I played as a kid that had a shop. That was completely new to me. Of course. Back to the good shit here, man. Oh, the pirate pyramid and everything. The Curse of Monkey Island. While we're talking about favorites, I'm pretty sure Curse of Monkey Island is my favorite of the Monkey Island series. I know I grew up with the first one. Still haven't played through the second one. I've played it, but I've not like played all the way through it. Same with the fourth one, which that's the one on PS2, I believe. And I've got all of the Tales of Monkey Island games as well. So those will have to get played at some point. But this part right here, the sword fighting segment in Curse of Monkey Island, where you had to use the insults that rhymed, that made finding the insults really, really easy. Because you needed that rhyming sound to whatever insult that you had. Oh, just ram it. Yes! Just ram right into him. Scrape right up on the side. This is that one. Hold on. I feel like I'm eating under a full moon in the desert. So my brother and I will watch an episode of Iron Chef either before or after we do our streaming. And on that night, that was something that one of the judges, the tasters, said about the Iron Chef's dishes. It's just like, you're being unnecessarily poetic. You're eating food. But man, I'm starting to notice. a lot of race nights, a lot of randomizer master swords. Why is it hard to brain? Yes. There you go. Oh man, 8 full hours of streaming. Sam and Max Hit the Road, Day of the Tentacle, Mario Party 2, Cocorone, Link to the Past Randomizer, and Maniac Mansion. Oh, getting back into Maniac Mansion. That's right. Being able to take part in one of the Saturday any percent Super Metroid races. There you go. Ah, making sandwiches for the Moon God. This is when my stream titles just stopped making sense. You just shotgun stupidity. That's a quote from someone. It's a good quote. Oh, I think this was the, I think this was the Super Metroid route randomizer seed that had Ice Clip in it. I'm almost positive this is the one that had a an apparently forced Ice Clip. Which anytime you have to do something like that, I always think that something may have gone wrong with the randomizer. Just like, nope, no glitches. But no, we had glitches. It was fine. It was a little bit of a head scratcher to get through there, but we did it. Ah, yes. You know, since the run is so short, we'll just watch the whole thing. This was the year that I not only played for the very first time Fallout 1, but I learned the speedrun for Fallout. The any percent speedrun for Fallout, as it were. And you can see right here the little window that is right where my mouse is, opening and closing to indicate battle, or at least a menu being opened. Yeah, I believe I don't know if there's an official name for that trick, but I just have nicknamed it Combat Skip. Combat Skipping. I understand why people like Fallout. I really do. But at the same time, even back in the day when this came out, I still would have been more in the camp of Diablo, and Diablo 2, and Warcraft 2, and StarCraft, and blah 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 like that. That being said, learning the speedrun and trying to whittle my time down bit by bit off stream was fun. And just messing around in the Fallout universe. You know, I had fun. And that's what it's about. You gotta go talk to this guy. You tell him a bunch of stuff. There's this ugly mug. And then you like run over here and he doesn't know what to do because you're just not there anymore. And you go over here. And then he goes up there. This is the tricky part of the run right here. You have to get that baseball grenade. I can't even tell if it's a baseball grenade. I think it's just a regular, like, plastic explosive. Then what you have to do, you gotta take that grenade and you have to real quickly stash it in this guy's inventory. I never got to do this while playing Fallout 4. I completed 2 playthroughs of Fallout 4, and I never put a live grenade in anyone's inventory. So finding out that it's a required bit of the speedrun for Fallout 1 was part of the reason why I decided to speedrun Fallout. That and the game is, what, under 10 minutes? Or is 10 minutes? Under 10 minutes. I enjoy not dense under 10-minute speedruns. Like DuckTales. DuckTales is a very not tech-heavy speedrun. So, my only experience with Fallout, besides learning the speedrun and doing the speedrun, was literally 1 hour of wandering around in the game until the game just naturally ends because you're not completing any of the objectives, and the game begins with you having a time limit. Excuse me. So yeah, I just wandered around the map, found a bunch of different locations, just wanted to see what the game had to offer, if I ever decided to play it casually. Yes, I decided to take the stim pack here, even though it turns out I wouldn't have needed it. Alright, so this base is going to explode, by the way. That's why I'm running out of here so fast. I think in the future, this would be something good for the intermissions between the Super Metroid races. Again, just because it's so short, you could do 3 runs during that intermission and still have plenty of time to sit around afterwards. Oh, caught by a horde of vicious, bloodthirsty rad scorpions. Fortunately, I am a wizard. I just run away. The one thing that's a little bit of a shame about Fallout is the fact that so much of the speedrun is done on this screen. The overworld is just a mini-map. So you have to take the level up either before this point or at least at this point. I believe it said we were in September of this year, so you can see over here I figured out the color key for my chat. I've got OBS figured out with the slideshow placement here. I remember going out and getting the Fallout font and then realizing I'm gonna have to put it in italics to make it look right. You have to talk to this guy a little bit, and then he takes you down here, but you have to hold a button to make sure this big spooky computer with a brain thing, I don't know if it's a brain, I think it's just covered in rotting meat. Yeah, you don't want to talk to him. He makes bad things happen. Oh yeah, I couldn't find the door. And I was so confused because of the way this game will block out something that's in the foreground, like you saw there, a little circle around your character, just to make sure you can always see your guy. But sometimes it completely blocks out a door, and you can't see where you're supposed to be clicking. So we have to use this key. This is a key. Have to use it so that we can blow up this building. Just doing some combat skips to make sure I'm far enough away from these guys. Because those guys down there will aggro on you if you don't do the right thing. These guys are all idiots, and I don't think they aggro. I mean, if you throw a grenade at them, they probably will. Oh, my song. Now we have to skip a whole bunch of cutscenes. A bunch of people we never met. But then we have to do stuff there. Talk to the overseer, and boom, we're done. 9:47. Fallout, any percent. Guess you could say this was my my 12-hour challenge this year, even though I didn't I didn't label it as such. Is there really anything else of note? The reemergence of Mega Man 2 randomizer. I had forgotten about that, and then all of a sudden I see Duckfist doing like a testing stream. Okay. I see what's coming up here, so we will watch the pertinent stuff. Mega Man 2 randomizer. Emergency order. Defeat the Metroid of planet Zebeth. The invincible shrimp. All red. Over there is in like the nuclear waste treatment facility or something. I'm in the nuclear reactor. And it's Metal Man. And Crash Bomb is so slow. But of course. One-way heroics. What a gem. This game is an absolute gem. Great concept. And it's as complicated and as difficult as you want to make it. You can set a seed, you can play random. And it's just enough of an action RPG to not really get boring or stale or anything. This is definitely one of my favorites on Steam. I have since gotten the DLC, so I have One Way Heroics Plus. So there's some new stuff that's in that. As you can tell, you are supposed to be going to the right, as there's this ever-encroaching darkness on the left that will destroy the world if left unchecked. But now we're getting into the spooky stuff. So we did the somewhat spooky Steam stream with the Wall of Skulls and the Halloween-themed Matrix letters. We played this game called Dogelrax. It's this very bizarre platforming game. Very bizarre little game. Don't really know how else to describe it other than bizarre. It was fun though. There's a bunch of different branching paths. You did it! You did it! You did it. But yeah, there's a lot of different branching paths. There's options. You know, go this way, go that way, go this way, say this, say that. Stuff doesn't necessarily lead to death 100% of the time. What was next on the somewhat spooky Steam stream? Why, it was Spooky Cats. This was an adorable little platformer. That mechanic of just sending the cat flying and headbutting stuff like that was just... had me in stitches. Trick and Treat. This was the third completed game from the somewhat spooky Steam stream. Also played this other RPG Maker game. Had a very hard to pronounce name. Trick and Treat has a prequel game on Steam that sets up the some of the events and stories that happen in Trick and Treat here. But you're this cute girl that has a pumpkin on her head. And you're kinda stuck in this haunted house. You have to figure out what's going on, where you're going, what are you doing, all that good stuff. Spooky ghost dancers, the whole 9 yards. It's a great game to play for Halloween. It's free. It does make you think at times. So. Oh yeah, and it has fashion slots. Fashion slots are best. Oh boy. take a look back at the pseudo-spooky mini-marathon. We were playing Halloween music. We were getting into the spirit. And how are we getting into the spirit? By playing a game that lets you wear a pumpkin on your head. Or that gives you a pumpkin for a head, even. This was an idea I had that I wanted to do, because I've done quote-unquote mini-marathons before, where I've played like 5 or 6 games, 7 or 8 games, over the course of, you know, a couple hours, maybe a day. But I decided that I wanted to do the whole current game, next game, have a schedule, everything. The only thing I probably could have done differently is done a bit more promoting myself on Twitter, but, you know, it's only so much of that you can do. And even then, the only people that follow me, well, better be careful. More people follow me than what I was about to say. But still, it's only like a handful of people. But at least a couple of them are just porn accounts, hoping that I'll follow them back. And I'm not going to, because I know that they're porn accounts. Man, I had put more, I guess, more thought behind, like, planning out a tentative schedule. You know, what games can I play that have something spooky going on in them? This one was, I have a pumpkin for a head. Ooh, spooky. You know, jack-o'-lantern face. That's fine. Thank you for playing. Oh, and then we went right into Maniac Mansion. Not fixing that cropping. Had some new Ghostbusters too. This was, yeah, the majority of the NES block. Oh, new Ghostbusters too. What a great game. This is the game that I say is the biggest shame that we never got in America. Everyone wants to say, you know, some JRPG. Everyone wants to say this or that. Nope, new Ghostbusters too. I really wish America would have gotten this game. Also wish it was 2-player. Unfortunately, I end up game overing, so have to move along. Oh, I skipped right over DuckTales. That's fine. A monster in your pocket. In my pocket, even. And I have not played this game in years. And it shows, because all the strategies that I had developed on my own for running this game with a timer just completely gone out the window. Oh, some Shadowgate. Good stuff. Excuse me. Oh boy, take those glasses. Can we just take the glasses? Like, a whole bunch? So this is an older version of the glitch. The glasses glitch in Shadowgate. I'm pretty sure there's a faster version by now. Still, it's another fun game. Hit the Sphinx with a broom. Oh. There he goes. Beat the game. Got back into some totally rad. One of the true hidden gems of the NES. Known in Japan as Magic John. Both versions are good. Magic John has some sprite differences. And I think some of the damage values on the magic is different. Or some enemies have different amounts of health. Ah, wacky races. Finishing up the NES block in freaking style. Wacky Races is a fantastic game. Slow fall with the helicopter tail, throwing bombs. Probably the best game that Hanna-Barbera has ever put their name on. I don't think that's a stretch. And we had some impromptu two-player stuff. We had some Duck Game as some famous horror characters. Oh, then we blew up. Then we kicked off the Game Boy block. Mario Land 2. Oh, by my brother, even. That's right. I had him playing this because I wanted to take a break. I told him to play easy mode and he didn't. So... don't remember if I finished up. I think he got to Wario's castle and he just couldn't get past it. Oh, I have to see. Yeah, I finished it up. There you can see it. Oh. Another classic of the Game Boy. Tiny Toon Adventures, Bab's Big Break. Fantastic. And the grand finale. The Aria of Sorrow randomizer seed. Again, not a, it's not like it was a full day or even multi-day event. That's, you know, why I called it a mini marathon, but still, even when you start playing some of the first couple of games, and you know you've got like 6 or 7 more games to play, it does kind of put a weight on your shoulders a little bit. So, you know, by the time I was wrapping up the NES block, you know, I was definitely ready to take a little bit of a break. And then I stayed up way too late playing the Aria of Sorrow randomizer. It's all good. Yes. The dawn of using Super Baseball Simulator 1000 as my decision maker. And of course, getting sunburned. My modded playthrough of the super hostile map known as Sunburn Islands. All of this in Minecraft. Yeah, we did. We didn't go that deep into the tech tree, really. We went far enough to get a decent jetpack. And, you know, once you have a decent jetpack, the majority of super hostile maps like this, or Spellbound Caves, can be made trivial, just because you can just fly over everything. But don't think for a second that just because it can be made trivial, that I'm not gonna do it. I'm definitely planning on doing more modded, super hostile playthroughs. The next one that I am planning on doing is the map that Vex did called Gift, which is based off of a book by Andrea Buchanan, where it's more of a modern setting, like a modern realistic setting, as opposed to being in a series of caves or a set of islands or floating up in the sky on clouds made of stone or in hell. Like, your character starts off in a trailer park, and there's a high school, and there's a little town that has, you know, a store and a restaurant, and, you know, lots of little stuff like that, but all of it is, of course, in Minecraft, and it's been adapted as a super hostile map. So needless to say, the shops aren't very well lit, and there's monsters all over the place. Spellbound Caves is one that I would like to do again, this time on stream. I've played that one at least 2 or 3 times off stream, just to kind of get the hang of how you need to do things with this mod pack in a super hostile map. Spoilers, it centers around jetpacks and lava buckets. 2 sub-59 races in Super Metroid. That's a good night. Ah, yes. Double ah, yes. And now we are at the present day. We've had a journey. There has been a lot of Link to the Past randomizer. There has been a lot of Super Metroid. And there has been a lot of random two-player streams. Let me see if I can go back to like the middle of the year. Oh no. There we go. He actually closed the video manager. But I wanted to check on it. Okay. This is Endica 7, the Dream King. This is a kind of a Metroidvania run and gun local co-op game. It can be a bit strange at times, because they don't really tell you where to go. More Warhammer 40k kill team. Let's actually checking to see if I had clicked on a video that had... It looks like I didn't. Pop this back open just long enough. Find myself another two-player stream. IQ Limbo. How low can we go? Oh, of course. This game. What is this, Totomori? Yeah, I think. I don't know. This is a great little game that has found its way into the two-player repertoire. So has this game, Party Hard. This might become a new regular game. Party Hard is a lot of fun. I think I'm the one that's dancing here. My brother is the one that's actually going around doing stuff. Oh, more kill team. Because that was the one... Well, there have been a couple of the two-player games that have stood out this year. I'd like to see what I've got... You shut up. I think it was before we started on Party Hard. It was the game Sacred Citadel. It's a side-scrolling beat-em-up. My brother and I got a lot of fun and enjoyment out of. Oh boy. And we got Duck Game to stop crashing. That was something good that came of this year. And of course, Super Metroid Arcade. Dude, so happy that Super Metroid Arcade is a thing. If I could get Super Metroid Arcade as a repro cart, I would spend quite a bit of money. quite a bit of money. Because it's, you know, it's a self-contained route randomizer. What's not to love? And the fact that it works with the Justin Bailey ROM hack is nice. And how can we talk about games that I played this year without bringing up Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links? This was the biggest new thing to come across my plate, and it's not even a new game. It's a couple years old, if I remember right. But I finally have a smartphone, more specifically an iPhone, that is capable of playing games like this. So, again, the only bad thing about my time with Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links is... and it's not even really a bad thing because I decided to do it. And that is not to merge my accounts on my phone and on PC. If I would have merged the accounts, my card collection on PC would look very different by now. But after watching a lot of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Marathon that was on Twitch Presents, I decided to try my hand at Yu-Gi-Oh! GX Duel Academy. And after I won a couple of duels in that, I decided to look on the smartphone and see if there was maybe a mobile game. Sure enough, there's Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. And then, not even a full month later, they come out with the Steam version of Duel Links. So that's what I've been leaning on as a casual game, both on and off stream, for the past month or two. Don't remember if I think it's on mobile that I recently played my 1000th duel. Not necessarily won, but I played my 1000th duel. I've played a lot of ranked matches and gotten my ass kicked. My speed run. My 58-14. And it has a shitty series. Great. And we've got the little bit of a playthrough of Fallout 4 going on there. Hanging out with Ironsides on the Constitution. Beating up on Mother Brain. Played a lot of this game this year. At least once a week. Sometimes twice. Most of the time twice, actually. And then finally, getting to streams that I've done even as recently as within 2 weeks ago. But because we did this, we color keyed out the black on the emulators. My brother and I were both playing off of the stream feed, so this is how we were playing. and we had Overkill by Motorhead playing in the background. And my brother managed to finish up just as Louie Louie, which is one of the bonus songs on Overkill, was about to kick in. And then, of course, we introduced my stream to Ultimate Chicken Horse. I've also introduced my chat to Squid Slots and a whole bunch of new and stupid slot variants that don't get you any prizes or anything. It's just something to do while you watch the stream. If you feel like doing something while you watch the stream. Yes, in this session, I am Horse, brother is Raccoon. This is a very fun game, Ultimate Chicken Horse. The one thing about it is it's very easy for it to lose control very quickly. Like, the level can get unwinnable very, very quickly. And finally, since it's not much of a walk down memory lane, it's more like a walk to the kitchen. Just within a week was my second ever playthrough of The Fireman. Another great game that I wish would have come to America. I managed to not game over this year, which is great. But this is now my Christmas Eve tradition. Oh boy. As it was Christmas Eve 2016. That was my first playthrough of The Fireman. And I game overed right at the end of the game. Like, all I needed to do was break those windows right at the end. And I ended up dying. There we go. Yeah, this part. Oh. Yeah, buddy. Well, alright. Man, can you believe it? Can you believe how long it took me to just go back and talk a little bit about some of the things that happened over this past year? Like, not even all the stuff that happened this year. You know, the progression of my performance in Super Metroid races. You know, the fact that I got my time down to a 48... 48? Hello? I fucking wish. A 58-14. There we go. You know, just little bits and bobs like that. Just getting better at the game. So as I take a look back my long list of games that I've beaten this year. There is one I didn't touch on. It's something I played off stream. And that would be George Foreman's KO Boxing. And that is the blindfolded, glitched run. I've got the right ROM for the right version of the game, because it's one of the revisions, I think, or it's one of the... It's a version of the game that has a developer bug or developer code left in the game, so when you pause the game, hit a certain button, and then unpause the game, a certain action will take place because you push the button. Either your health falls all the way, your opponent's health falls all the way, or something else, I forget. But it's easily enough done with audio cues that you don't need to look at what you're doing. You just wait for the bell to ring, hit start, hit like Y, and then hit start again, and there's a knockdown. And since the game gives you the option of selecting the final boss as your first opponent, you can beat the game right there, get the credits and everything. Now, as far as games I beat this year away from the stream, Fallout 4 is the big one. Fallout 4 was an absolute blast. Anybody that shit talks Fallout 4, I think, first of all, has missed the point, and second of all, has gone into it with expectations, which is never a good thing to do. And they've gone into it with the wrong mindset. I went into it thinking it's going to be a first-person shooter. There's, you know, dialogue and quests and upgrades and all that, you know, some kind of RPG elements to it. But I went into it thinking, predominantly, this is going to be a first-person shooter with RPG elements. And at the end of things, I consider it to be one of my favorite first-person shooters of all time. Not because it's innovative, not because it does anything new, but because it's in a really interesting world that's filled with charm. And since it's a Bethesda game, it's buggy as all hell, and it's hilarious as a result. Finally beating New Super Mario Bros. On the DS, that was pretty big. But the one and only NES game that I beat this year was Super Mario Bros. 2 with warps. You better believe it. Also, forget if I covered this while I was going through everything, but the discovery of the Game Boy version of Felix the Cat. Holy crap, dude. That game is really, really good. You know what? Hold on. Let's go back and highlight it. Because I think short Game Boy games like that, I really, really like. Also, see Popeye 2 on the Game Boy. Alright, where are we at? There we go. This game deserves to be highlighted. Deserves a second look. Again, game is, what, under 20 minutes? For, like, a first-time casual playthrough? Under 20 minutes? Yeah. You get to be a tank in this game. This game feels very similar to Wacky Races. It almost feels like the halfway point between Popeye 2 and Wacky Races. Again, just an absolute hidden gem here. A really solid, really good Game Boy game. I know the NES version isn't the same exact game, obviously. And unfortunately, I think it may fall into the same trap that like Tiny Toon Adventures falls into, where the Game Boy game was really good, but the NES game maybe not as much. Look at this gangster dog on a pogo stick. He's shooting his pistola at me. He took away my tank, turned me back into a magician. Anyways, now that we've highlighted that a little bit, I think it is safe for me to take that down. Take that down. Do a little bit of that. It's been a good year. It has definitely been a good year. I'm looking forward to the next one being full of even more video games and bullshit. But for right now, tonight, thanks for watching. Thanks for stopping by and hanging out on this little trip down memory lane just to see what the fuck did we do this year? What bullshit have we perpetrated on our stream? We've done a lot. We've discovered some games. We've gotten back in touch with some old favorites. Can't wait to do it all over again. Anyways, thanks again for watching, everybody. See ya!